in country. Constitution is a set of rules and regulations used for governance in country. So Constitution of India, which enforced on a 26 January 1950, it followed a certain number of the ideals. Those ideals which prove that the Constitution of India, it is as a suitable for a different linguistic, different religious and different cultural groups. Linguistic, religious and cultural groups, it can be as a work within a country as independently because of the Indian Constitution, which favored all the communities as equal. The Constitution of India neither make the differences with the majorities and the minorities. Majorities, those which are in a larger in number in our country. Hindus are the larger in number, they are the majority. Except the Hindus, Muslims, Sikh, Christians, Jainists and Buddhists are the minorities. They are minorities because their number, their presence as compared to the Hindus has a lesser. Clear? So Constitution of India makes the possibilities for growth of, or provide the possibilities of growth for the both majority of population and minorities. Majority and minorities. Clear? Majority and minorities. For the framing of an Indian Constitution, the freedom strugglers, they contributed as an important role, because the reason is that during as the freedom struggle against of the colonial rule, a number of people sacrificed themselves, and the freedom strugglers, they familiar that if the freedoms are not given to the people, what kind of a situation can persist in a society. So the freedom strugglers, the nationalist leaders of India, they wish to make as a country as a democratic. They want to make India as a democratic, through which the Indian, they can raise their voice in a independent India. So to follow as a such idea, after the independence of India on 15th August 1947, the Constituent Assembly, it framed as that kind of constitution which favor all as equally and do not make as a discrimination with any of community. It didn't make any of a discrimination in society, for which it had a certain number of the salient features. First, federalism. Salient features of a Constitution of India which do not make as a differences in a different socio-economic, religious differences. Such diversities are followed as equal in our Constitution. So the first feature of a Constitution of India is a federalism. Federal means division of the powers at the two levels, central and state. Central and state. So our Constitution is a partially federal and quasi-federal. Federal means where the powers are divided at the two of the levels, central, national level, and state levels. State legislative assemblies are there. Central level and state level. So, but there are the local self-governments are also there. Local self-governments. Municipal corporations are work in cities, bigger cities like metropolitan cities of Bombay, in Mumbai, Delhi, Chennai. There are the municipal corporations are there, but there are the smaller cities are there which are possessing the municipal councils. Municipal councils, both are the equivalent as per the function. As per the function, they are the very municipal corporations are the larger governing body of cities, and the smaller areas like Guraya, Nakodar, they are possessing the municipal councils. Same as in the rural areas, there as a governing body as a panchayats. So that's why I use here the quasi-federal structure. The Constitution of India is a quasi-federal structure. Quasi-federal structure. Federal means the division of the powers at the levels, two levels, central and the state level, but there are the local self-governments are there. That's why we call Constitution of India is a quasi-federal. Quasi-federal. Federal. Clear? Second is the Constitution of India makes the separation of powers. Second important feature of a Constitution of India is the separation of powers. In Indian Constitution, there is not as the supreme powers are given to any of authority. There are the decentralized form of powers are there. Powers are divided among the various authorities. For example, in India, in Indian Constitution, powers are divided among the different organs: legislatives, executives, judiciary. Legislatures or legislative, executives, and judiciary. Legislatives makes a law, executives pass a law, it approves a law, and judiciary has checks that that law has applicable on a society or not. If the law needs such changes, then the judiciary can return it to the legislatures or executives for further modifications. That's why there are three organs of the government are there. In India, the powers are divided among the three levels: central level, where the central government is there, BJP government in a center, then each and every state, 28 states having their own governments, state governments are there. Then afterwards, the local self-governments are there, municipal corporations, councils, and village panchayats. So three levels of the governments are there. There are also the powers are divided among the, or the authorities are given to the political parties. Different number of political parties are there which contest in elections. They are basically the two kinds of political parties: nationalized parties and regional parties. Nationalized parties and regional parties. National parties contest in elections in all the states, means they can take as a part in elections in all the states. Aam Aadmi Party, Bharatiya Janata Party, Indian National Congress are the nationalized parties. BSP, Bahujan Samaj Party, are nationalized parties. They contest in elections in different states of the country. But there are a certain number of the political parties are there which contest in elections in a particular states, are the regional parties. For example, Shiromani Akali Dal, it contests in elections only from the Punjab. Shiromani Akali Dal. Rashtriya Janata Dal. Rashtriya Janata Dal contests in elections from the Bihar. Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh. Clear? Samajwadi Party in Uttar Pradesh. Yes, Jayant, what do you want to ask? Lok Sabha has responsible for the making of a law. Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, the Parliament of India is responsible for making of a law and a proper functioning of a country. In the other side, the presidential form of the government is there, where the nominal head of the country is the President of India. President of India is the nominal head of the country, and Prime Minister is the real head of the country. Real head of the country. Clear? Real head of the country. Wake up, Mida. Wake up. So parliamentary form of the government, which has makes the possibilities for a making of a new laws as per the necessities of a society. Fourth is the Indian Constitution is a written in form. This is also one of the features of a constitution, written in form. Constitution of India is a written. It means verbal aspects. It can be as a change, but whatever is a written in form, it is as a permanent. Those things which are written in form, these are the permanent. This is as the feature. Whatever has marked in a Constitution of India at the time of 1950, still as such they are followed after the completion of 75 years of Indian independence. Tushar Tak, raise your hand. Tushar Tak, roll number 39.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Tushar, can you tell me?
Yeah.
India completed its 75 years of independence. Am I correct? Statements
Yes, sir.
True or false?
Yes, sir. True.
Yapji, it's incorrect. India completed its 75, sorry. 75 years of Indian independence, 47, but it was as a completion of the 74 years of Indian Republic. This is as a true. 75 years of Indian independence has completed. Since last these 75 years, whatever the law which were written at the time of 1950, these laws are still applicable in a present society. Law are not changed, but the parts of a law, these are changed. These are modified in present, for which as an amendment word is used. Clear? So our constitution is a written in form. This is as the fourth feature of Indian constitution. Fifth feature of Indian constitution is a Indian constitution is a partially rigid and partially flexible. Indian constitution is a partially rigid. Rigid means that thing which can't be as a change. It is which is the permanent. Partially rigid and partially flexible in nature. But such states, we can't change the constitution. This is as the rigidness of a constitution. We can't change through any of a procedure. We can't change the constitution of India, but we can change the aspects of a constitution, means their law, those law which enforce on a 1950, it can be as a modify in present. Such law can modify in present through the amendments. Number of changes till the time 104 changes took place in a constitution of India. 104 changes takes place in a constitution of India. Clear? These changes are known as amendments. This is as the fifth feature of Indian constitution. Indian constitution is a partially rigid and partially flexible. Sixth feature of Indian constitution is the fundamental rights. Constitution of India has given the fundamental rights and duties. Duties are the responsibilities. As a citizen of a country, every child which has taken as a birth in India, it has a certain number, it has possessed a certain number of rights, which are known as fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are those necessary conditions which are required for social well-being of an individual. So a child, when it has taken a birth in a country, it is eligible to use such fundamental rights. Means till the death, the person can avail the such fundamental rights. Right to freedom, right to expression, right to constitutional remedies, right against exploitation, right to the cultural and educational rights, right to the freedom of a religion. Freedom of religion. But as with the rights, similarly, there are the fundamental duties are also given in a constitution. Duties are the responsibilities. Responsibilities. A person who is the citizen of a country, it has possessed a certain number of the responsibilities. What kind of responsibilities? For example, at the time of a national anthem, they have to respect to the national signs, national animal, national bird, national emblem, national song, and anthem. Clear? So it has to pay respect to those signs which are in relation to the national interest. Second, the person has to work for the protection of a public and a property, not to violate it, not to demolish the public property. This is as your duty. This is as your duty as a citizen of India, fundamental duty. So with the rights, responsibilities are also given to the citizens of India. Responsibilities are also given to the citizens of India. Veeran, raise your hand. Veeran. Navkaran Singh, sorry, your mic is still not attached. Navkaran. Khyati Khurana. Khyati, raise your hand.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Khyati, can you tell me how much time is required for the recitation of national anthem? Last month, before of the 15th August, one of the activity was there. How much time is required for the recitation of a national anthem, Jan Gan Man?
So 1.5 minutes.
Repeat it.
1.5 minutes.
No, Japji, you are incorrect. It's not the 25 minutes. Kritika, very good. Jayant given the correct answer. 52 seconds. Total 52 seconds are required for the recitation of a national anthem. National anthem. Very good. Thank you. It means the awareness is there. You are aware about your duties and responsibilities. So last month, before of 15th of August, one of the activity which was initiated by the government of India, the central government of India, our Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji, in which as every individual either a boy or a girl, their parents, their guardians, any of a person which has the citizen of India, it has to recite as a national anthem. 52 seconds are the desirable for it. And you all took part. That's a congratulations for you because you are aware about your rights. Next, as the Indian Constitution, 8th feature of Indian Constitution is the secular idea. Our Constitution has followed the secularism, the idea of a secularism, which has also marked under the fundamental rights, right to freedom of religion. A person which has present in India as a citizen of India, it can possess, it can follow any of a religion without any restrictions. Without any restrictions, a person can follow any of a religion. All are free to follow their religion as per their needs and the necessities. As per their needs and necessities, the person can use the religion, which has proved to the idea of a secularism, which has also marked in a preamble of Constitution. Preamble which summarizes the Constitution of India. Clear? Afterwards, we discuss in this chapter as the 6th of the fundamental rights, right to equality, which has marked to the Article 15. What is states under Article 15? Sakshamida. What is states under the Article 15, 1.5? What is states under the Article 15? Those who know their answer, they can raise their hands. Jabji, this is incorrect. Article 15 is not as a right to equality. Jayant, yes?
Sir, no one can discriminate on the basis of
Very
race,
good, excellent.
gender.
No one, it will be as a discriminated on the behalf of caste, race, religion, gender. Caste means differences differences in a caste. Races mean human races. Northern people, they are having as a wheatish complexion comparatively to southern people. So no differences on the basis of a skin color, caste, race, religion basis differences, it will be not prevails, and are not that discriminate on the basis of a gender, male and female. All are equal. Very good. And Sawmill, raise your hand. Sawmill. Article 17. Article 17. It has also followed the idea of equality. Sawmill. Yes, bache. Article 17 states that very good. Japji given correct answer. Due to some network problems, Sawmill unable to answer. So ban on untouchability. Untouchability has abolished in India through the Article 17. Article 16 states that the equal job opportunities. Article 16 states that the equal job opportunities belong from a different individuals. And Article 21 is a right to equality. Article 21 is right to equality, which means for the social well-being of an individual, it can equally work in society. It can exist in society. There will be as a no discrimination will take place with the individuals. Second fundamental right as a right against exploitation, which means a person which is exploited, which feels as exploitation in a society, it can raise their voice. Most of the exploitation which has occurred in society as a bonded labor. When a person is doing their work, but for their work, when the salary has not given, when the income has not paid for their work, is known as the bonded labor. So if a person has feel as an exploit, under such circumstances, it can raise their voice by filing a case in a Supreme Court directly. Because the violation of a fundamental right, such case directly filed in a Supreme Court. Yes, Jayant?
Sir, Article 21 right to liberty नहीं है.
Liberty and equality means, liberty means freedoms, equality. Article 21. So next one, exploitation, clear? If a child has engaged in a dhabas and hotels as under the age group of 15 years, this is as illegal. Under such circumstances, people can raise their voice for the protection of a child labor, from child labor. It has comes under the right against exploitation. Third, as the right to the freedom of religion. according to which every person is free to profess, propagate, and practice any of a religion as per their choices. Means people can change their religions. Fourth is the right to freedom. Right to freedom, people having the freedom, liberty, through which they can express their thoughts. They can express their thoughts. Express their thoughts. Freedom of expression is a part of it. Means whatever the people they are expressed regarding as a government rules, policies, regulations, through the words of an individual, it shouldn't hurt the sentiments of any individual. It should not hurt the sentiments of any individual. Under such circumstances, the right to freedom has functioned. Fifth fundamental right is a right to the constitutional remedies. Means the parts of a constitution, it can be as a changeable, it can be as a modify as per the existing situations. This is as a constitutional remedies. And sixth fundamental right to cultural and educational freedoms. Educational freedoms. People are free to propagate and practice any religion, any culture, to follow the culture and set up as the educational institutes on the behalf of their cultural beliefs and ethics. Nobody, it can't be as a restrict. That's why the different people, different religious communities are propagate and practicing their different schools. Convent schools, Saint Joseph, which follow the Christianity, Akal academies for the Sikhism, DAV institutes which are propagating about the Hinduism, madrasas to raising a voice or propagate regarding as the Islam, madrasas, monasteries are still has a persist in India. It has possible due to as a cultural and educational freedoms are given to the people. Clear? This was asked for chapter Indian Constitution. Any questions? Any questions related with this chapter? Indian Constitution. Practically, constitutional remedies means those aspects associated with the constitution. Remedies or the solutions. When we are talking about a constitution, that constitution which was implemented 70 years back, our society is now as changing. As per the changes in a society, when we need some modifications in society, such modifications, it can be as a possible to the changes, some of the parts of the changes in a constitution. We can't change the constitution, but we can change as those articles, legislations, which are marked in a Constitution of India. Clear? Remedies means solutions. If the law has not suitable in a present, which enacted it 70 years earlier, not suitable in a present, it can be as modified. It can be modified. As the Hindu Succession Act in 1950, which given as an opportunity to the males to take as a share in a parental property, only as to the boys. But Hindu Succession Amendment Act 2005 given opportunities to the girls, they can take share in their parental property as equivalent to the boys. Clear? Any other doubt from this chapter? Yes, Jen. Under such circumstances, people can raise their voice through the public opinion. Government kaise janegi that law, it should be as a change. Aspect of a law, it should be changed. It can be as a possessed to the opinion of a people. When people, they start to oppose. People start to oppose. Why do the government has amended only as a Succession Act? Because most number of the women's girls, they face as a discrimination, not getting as a share in their parental property. They feel as a depressed, isolated. So it will be as a concern of authorities. If the state governments are considered or a central government can consider, it can modify a law. It can modify a law. Law can be changed by the government or the state governments under such circumstances when a person has not followed it, or a government authorities, they consider the law needs the changes. It needs the changes. A number of laws are there which modified as per the existing situations. For example, Domestic Violence Act. Domestic Violence Act. Domestic violence means in families where the housewives beaten by their in-laws. by their in-laws. Earlier, the law states that the physical abusement it cover under the domestic violence, but now presently as a verbal abusement is also covered. If any of a women has complained against of their in-laws that their in-laws are used as an abusive language against of her, then the police will arrest and the case it will be filed stronger from behalf of a women's side, not the side of the such of a individuals. Yeah, some of the individuals are there of a women in a society. Law makes for the protection of a women in society. People not agitated, government considered, that's why it modified. Physical and verbal abusement in family has covers under the Domestic Violence Act. Clear? Which has comes under the state authorities. Authorities, when they consider, they can modify the law. This was our first chapter, Indian Constitution. Any questions, bache? Next question, next chapter is understanding secularism. Understanding secularism. Understanding secularism. Secularism, the idea of a secularism which has marked in a preamble of a constitution as the secular. India followed as the secular idea. India followed as the secular idea. Tanish, raise your hand. Tanish, 37 roll number. Tanish. Yes, Saksham Meda. Secular country is that which has followed all the different religions as equally. What we call to the that country which has possessed one religion, which followed one religion. For example, Pakistan is an Islamic country. Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq are the UAE, Dubai. These are the Islamic countries. What term has used? Japji given a correct answer. So what term we are used in context of a country which has possessed a one religion? Vatican City based upon a Catholic ideals. Saksham Meda, what we call to the such countries, उन countries को क्या कहा जाता है जहां पर एक religion होता है. Country has possessed a one national religion. India do not having their, it's not having their national religion because it has the following the idea of equality for all religious groups. Theocratics, Theocratic, as given by the Japji, correct, very good. Theocratic countries which are following as the one single religion. So this much for today. Any queries related with the today's test? Those who are having as any queries related with today's test, which has assessed on the basis of 5 chapters of civics, first 5 chapters of civics and 2 chapters of geography, second and third, second chapter as a land, soil, water, natural vegetation and wildlife resource, and minerals and power resources. Yes, Jayant?
सर जो मैप्स आएंगे तो आप हमें भेजोगे ड्रॉ करके कि हमें लोकेट करना है कि हमने खुद ड्रॉ करना है?